Yes, people. 2 years ago, I started the gym. I was skinny, I was scrawny. I was quite just like low in self-confidence back then. I wasn't who I am now. And over those 2 years, from the gym, from lifting weights, I changed it all. I went from like this skinny, scrawny guy, and I changed like my whole self. I went and transformed into a whole new person. I started becoming confident, started becoming like just bigger, just like taking up more space. I wouldn't get like pushed around. And this was all with the gym. This was all with just lifting weights. It made my life transform in many different ways. It gave me like more meaning, something to do each day, which I knew like pushed me forward. As I'd have summer holidays and I'd just have days where I'd sit in bed where I'd do nothing. But every day I had something to do, and that was at least go to the gym. But in this gym journey, probably after about a year and 6 months mark, a year and a half mark, it started to be a point where the gym didn't seem like it was benefiting me as much. Like I was still getting bigger, I was still getting stronger, but I didn't feel as good as I did when I started. It got to a point where I started becoming bored. I started like feeling pain, like getting pain in my lower back, getting pain in my wrist, and starting to become just like bored and like unhappy with the gym. Like I didn't have the same drive, I didn't have the same goal to it. As I'd like hit the main goals, like I did 100 kg, I like did 180 kg deadlift, and I did the things that I always wanted to do. That was my passion, that was like my purpose. But after I achieved those goals, I was sort of complacent with it. I didn't have anything to strive for, I didn't have anything to go for, so I felt bored, and like the pain in my lower back and stuff, it just didn't feel worth it. And while this was happening, like it stops me, like, because I was so much bigger and so much like stronger now. When I was playing football, when I was doing stuff like that, it prevented me so much. Like I'd play and I'd be out of breath within the first 5 minutes. Like we'd do a Wembley game and I'd always be the first one out, which is like, I just wasn't fast anymore. I wasn't quick. I was just heavy, slow, and like ploddy. Like the gym worked well because it made me look good. It made me look muscular and it made me stronger. But it was like, it had no benefit outside of like looking good in a way. It didn't like help me out at all when I was like playing football, or like I was walking, I'd get tired walking up the stairs, and it's like, it didn't have benefit of my health. It didn't have benefit of my proper life. It just made me look better. And at this point, I would describe myself as really good in the gym. I was really good at lifting weights, but I was awful at everything else. I couldn't run. I couldn't like do like football. I couldn't do sports very well because I was just so strong and so big. I was a trick of one trade instead of being a trick of loads. And through these like first 2 years of the gym, my thought process was I was thinking about like being a bodybuilder. I was like, okay, I can do this really well, and that could be my future. But the more I thought into it, and about 2 years after I've been in the gym, I sort of realised I wouldn't want to do that. Like I wouldn't want to be that big for one. I wouldn't want to take steroids. I wouldn't want to be like that plumpy and slow and like just like restrained so much by the muscle. Instead, I'd want to be more of an athlete. As like, if I imagine myself in 5 years time, I was this guy who could run, I could lift, I was flexible, I could fight. Like I didn't want to be just good at bodybuilding. I wanted to be good at everything. I wanted to just have everything and be good at whatever I did. And I saw myself more as like I was more inspired by like a Conor McGregor, like a Yoel Romero, like these athletes, these UFC fighters who are in really good shape, but they can run fast, they can lift, they can fight. They're not just good at bodybuilding versus like someone who Ronnie Coleman, like he's really cool and all, but I didn't want to be just strong. I didn't want to be just fat big. And there was this quote I heard that really resonated with me. It was, a trick of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. And what this means essentially is, a lot of the time, in most things, in like health, in maybe business, in all different things, it's better to be good at quite a few things than just really good at one thing. As if you are really good at one thing, you're going to win at it, but then everything else, you're just going to be last at it. Versus if you can be like really good where you come in second, third in everything, that's quite an impressive feat. And it's not always better, not always in every situation. It matters what you want to do with your life. But for me, what I wanted to do, I wanted to be this athlete. So it was better to be good at everything. So I started this functional training. I started using kettlebells each day. I started body weight. I'd do the odd gym session, the odd arm session if I was with a friend or something. But my main focus was like running. It was press ups, pull ups, kettlebell swings, like burpees, all this stuff. I was doing this like functional, using your body weight type of thing. And when I did this training, it was a lot different feeling. Like I'd be sweating, I'd be drenched after each session, and I'd feel very energized and uplifted. Versus the weight sessions, when I did the gym sessions, I'd feel tired after. I'd sort of, like after a gym session, I'd come home and I'd be knackered. My legs, if I did a leg day, like I couldn't walk for days. But after any of these sessions that I did, I just felt like more energized than before. I wanted to do more and more. And like I'd finish the session, I'd finish everything we had planned, and I'd go do some skipping, I'd go do a different session, because I was just like, it just uplifted me and made me feel good, and wanted to do it more and more. So that made me train every day, sometimes twice a day. Like there wasn't a cap of how much I could train. Just with bodybuilding, you got to do like you need a rest day with bodybuilding, because you work your muscles so hard, you work them to pure failure. But with this, I should train every day. I should just keep going. I just listen to my body. So I should like practice handstands one day, practice pistol squats, do kettlebells the other. I should just do what I wanted when I wanted. I could follow a training program and then do something else on the side. And I wouldn't feel like awful after the sessions. And when I say awful, I mean I wouldn't feel so tired. I wouldn't feel so fatigued. And what this did is it made me get a lot leaner. As like I'd do a training session in the morning, then I'd sometimes do boxing in the afternoon. And this, like I'm burning obviously a lot more calories that way, because each session I'm sweating, I'm moving a lot, and I'm just training hard. So I was a lot leaner, and I've become a lot leaner because of this. And I've become a lot more energized, as I think sweating and just like moving the body, it just seems to have this like uplifting effect on you. I couldn't really like scientifically describe it, but like you just feel good after. It's like when you sprint, when you finish a sprint and you're like woo, like you can move, you're like proper energized and you're just hyped for it. And that's what I felt with every session I did. I'd just like be there, I'd be so uplifted, I would just be ready to get on with my day. And with this, I was a lot healthier. Like after like any time in the day, I was happy to like revise, I was happy to do other things like make this video. But versus when I was doing bodybuilding, I couldn't, in a way. Like I would be so tired after I went to the gym that I'd just have to have like a 2-hour chill session. I'd have to just sit there, eat food and watch something on YouTube. But instead, like I'll come back now, I'll go, and I've just got this to-do list. Like I'm too energized, I'm too healthy, and like I just got to do stuff. And like it's such a good thing, as I'm always busy, I'm always trying to find something to do, I'm always exploring new projects, and it's like I'm not just sitting there just doing nothing. Like, I've got enough energy to do something every time in the day. So that's why I sort of stopped lifting, and that's why I can't really ever see myself going back to lifting full time. I always see myself, obviously I'll change over time and I'll do different workouts and whatnot, but I always see myself going more down this functional route of training, this more kettlebells bodyweight route. So that's why I stopped lifting. Thank you for watching. Click the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.